What's going on, everybody? This is Damian Jackson of the Midnight Drive, and joining me today, all the way from across the pond, we got back again Noah from Never Under. What's going on, man?
Man, I'm all good, and you?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad to get to talk to you again.
Yeah, man, it was pretty fun last time, so just going for it again.
Yeah, glad I get to get you on early this time. You actually hit me up. You told me you got some great news. I'm ready. I wanted to hear what it was about.
Yeah, no, so when I reached out to you, I was telling you about our new single that's gonna be released on March the 6th, and that's gonna be our first release as a signed band. So we recently got signed in the UK after our UK tour, basically. Um, So yeah, no, that's pretty exciting for us. No longer an independent band. Um, yeah, man.
Well, hell yeah. Congratulations, man, to you and James. I
Thank you.
know you said James couldn't be here, but
Yeah, no, he's a little bit unwell, and he needs to, be ready for the rehearsal tonight. So couldn't join us. That's why I'm literally like in my car right now. I guess you can see it.
yeah.
Uh, didn't have because I was on the way to the rehearsal room because we rehearse in London, but I live out of London. So, I had to make it work with the agenda. So that's why I'm in my car to do the interview.
Oh yeah. Once again, congratulations, man. How did that all come about?
So it's pretty fun because in the past, we reached out to that label with Broken String with our first album, and they were not that interested. In fact, they were not interested. And we reached out again, basically a year and a half after. So that was in November 2025. So we were just done with our UK tour, and the songs were ready. So we sent the songs to them, and quite immediately they wanted to sign us based on the music, but also based on the progress that's been happening for the band. Well, since the last time we had talked with them.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, no, that's basically how it went. It went from no to yes. And yeah, so we got signed in December 2025, so like a month after I reached out. And yeah, that was it. That's how it happened. Few months to prepare for the release, all the admin stuff, and all that that great stuff. And yeah, being released now. So it's pretty exciting for us because it had been over 2 years since Broken String. So we were really like looking forward to getting releasing stuff again. And now it's happening.
Well, I'm really happy for you both. Can't wait to see what happens. Uh, Man, that is huge. That is huge,
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you very much.
and I love to see that. That is legit like hard work being paid off right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, being I'm not gonna say that being a band is hard, but it is hard when you want to be successful. When you want to make it your career, uh, then it becomes hard, and that's what we want. And yeah, that is the tricky part because it is an industry that's how would I say this? The 0.1% of people that are successful, they have a brilliant life with it, but then you have all the other bands that are just struggling and fighting to, well, to survive.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's especially true in a city like London, where in two streets in Camden you have like 25 shows every night. Competition is incredibly fierce, and yeah, you just want to be heard. You just want to play to a crowd, and just to achieve this, this is already a huge challenge every band is facing in the UK and especially in London.
Yeah, I still remember from the first interview you were saying how, you were putting together all these shows and stuff and, kind of like
Yeah,
breaking even with a lot of stuff, like selling
yeah,
tickets and putting stuff out there and but you were like grinding and hustling and now the fact that you're where you're at now to where you're able to be signed by a label, I mean,
yeah,
it's only up from there. Like this has got to be something to where it's like, all right, you know what you were doing, like paid off. You got where you want to be. Now it's showing them like why was like a great reason for them to sign you, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna
yeah.
back you and James up.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I don't remember when we had the interview last time. Was it like June or something?
I thought it was
But
like I thought it was like October or something. Maybe not.
nah, I don't. I think that was earlier. Um, I think it was during the summer.
Hmm.
But anyway, I remember back then. Indeed, we had that was after we played our show at the O2 Academy to Islington, and that show was almost sold out. And in fact, we just broke even, which is the crazy side of the industry.
Yeah.
To be fair, in the meantime, we played a much bigger show
Under.
at the Underworld in London, and I, that's the first time that we're actually making a profit on a gig, like a proper profit. I mean, it's not going to pay for all the bills, but when let's be realistic, we do it for art, but a label is a business, it's a company. So when they see good numbers, well, they're going to get even more interested if they like the music
Hmm.
because they're aware that even if you do make good music, it can take years and years before that music actually translates into anything worthwhile financially speaking. So that's just the reality of it. Uh, when I started music, I was really not a businessman, but I've learned to become one just to survive. It's just what you have to do to exist as a band.
Yeah. I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like you just can't be a musician. You have to be, the basically the businessman, the promoter, the
Yeah,
insert thing here to increase your success. And I actually just looked it up from when we did our first interview. It was August 7th.
yeah,
And
summer, yeah,
yeah, so yeah, for some reason I thought it was a little bit later than that, but just time just flies by. Uh,
yeah. Don't tell me about it.
but yeah, you were telling me like all the stuff about you doing all these shows, whether you were breaking even or just trying to do whatever to get in the building. And the fact,
Yeah.
so what was your like reaction when you heard the news?
What about the label?
Yeah.
I mean, we were pretty excited, and you know, for me, it was more like I was thinking about the whole journey. Remembering when I arrived in the UK, then all the challenges, all the setbacks, like all that stuff, and thinking, man, we gotta get signed, and you have that thing in mind for years and years until it does happen. Now, obviously, I'm not foolish. I'm not saying that, getting signed is the end of the road. The road is still very, very long, and we'll see how it goes. But I guess it gives you some sort of credibility. Uh, yeah, there is sort of accomplishments in there. What you were saying about, you have to be a businessman and all. I guess, for some people it might not be true. If from the beginning you have someone who does it for you, like if you're basically an Nepo baby or just someone who's got the right family background around them, then then it's a whole different story. But that was not my case. That was definitely not James' case either. So we we have to, well, to find solutions basically, and to just like keep faith in the process and keep going no matter what.
For sure. And like going, as I know we keep going back to the other interview, but how you both told me you like grew up and all the stuff, like I'm happy for both of you. What is something that you kind of like see in the future? Like I know you're still putting out music. You got this release coming up. Uh, are we looking at like music video? Try to do like a video, something like that. Maybe like some. Are you putting out like some bigger shows at some bigger places?
So basically, for videos, we've made like some videos for the release of Till I'm Beat, the single
Hmm.
on Friday. But we have some bigger projects for music videos for the next few months. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, we're gonna be releasing quite a lot of music this year and probably next year because we have a lot of music that that's been recorded, mixed, and everything. So that's looking pretty good. Um, and to be fair, the song that we have chosen for Friday is probably the best transition between what we used to do with Broken String and what we're doing now with the new stuff. It's probably the best, yeah, the best transition between, let's say, the old era and the new era.
Hmm.
Um, when it comes to shows, well, we're actually about to announce our big show of the year in London. We'll do it in a week or two. So yeah, no, we're gonna keep playing live. And yeah, obviously, you always want to play bigger and better shows, bigger and better festivals. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, we've got a lot on the agenda. I'm aware that people can't see it because it's not been announced yet, but it is there. It's just waiting to be revealed to people.
Well, I definitely can't wait for all the announcements and just to see you guys strive. Being that is a new era of Never Under, are you thinking about changing like your sound for compared to what you guys used to do, or are you still keeping that same sound of what you had?
So it's still the same thing, but just better, probably. Because we've gotten better as a band, so things have improved. We've changed the recording process. So yeah, it's basically about keeping what Never Under already was, but making it better to, well, fulfill our goals, our expectations. Because we were very happy with Broken String as a first album, but it was a first one.
Mm.
It was incredibly raw, which is back then what we wanted. We wanted something very raw. You can tell, for example, with the vocals and the guitars, there is not a lot of harmonies. In fact, there are no harmonies in the entire album on vocals. It's not a lot of layers. It's very, very raw and live recorded. Whereas the new stuff is more produced. It's I'm not gonna say it's cleaner because it's not, but yeah, it's more produced. It's bigger. It's bigger. You'll see. It's just like wider stuff that you can obviously do when you do more harmonies, when you do more layers, and so on. Um, and I'd say everything has improved from from the instruments we use to the songs themselves. That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I know I said it again, but I can't wait to hear the new music. Can't wait to see what lies in the future. Like I said, I'm really happy for you both, and can't wait to see what Never Under has in store. Um, and definitely got to come out there and come see you guys too. Like,
Oh, you said it last time you wanted to come to the UK,
yeah,
but
I got to come out there, man. Like, you guys are the first ones to come to see. Like, I've interviewed two other people from the UK.
okay,
It was a band out of Sheffield called the Bad Actors, and then it was I can't remember where the other guy was from, but he's called Freddie Forbidden. He was like a drill rapper that was like in like doing rock music. Um,
okay.
can't remember off the top of my head where he said he was, but yeah, I was just like, I gotta come hang out with all of you guys.
Well, if you want to come over, come in November because that's when we'll be playing in London. So just go for November.
Let me try to let me get my passport and some money saved up, and oh yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
See how much that flight's gonna be.
that's gonna be expensive. And yeah, no, I mean, but to be fair, I've never been to the US. Like, it's something I really want to do. You know, it's a country that I want to explore. You know, I mean, really, like for the country itself.
Yeah.
But I've kind of promised myself that I want to go to the US when I have to go for music or for art, you know, not just as a tourist. So that's kind of my, I mean, to be fair, it's so expensive. I wouldn't be able to afford it right now. But even if I could, like, even if you give me 10,000 quid to travel, I will not go to the US because I want to go there as an artist, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that
So,
makes total sense.
yeah.
And I don't blame you for that, man. That's goals that you want for the future, and I definitely hope you get a chance to make that goal. I would love to see you guys in the US rocking out on the stage.
I mean, to be fair on, like, when we check the data, the US is like one of our best countries. So that's a good sign, I guess, for the future. That's a good reason to go to the US, to play to the US. Let's put it that way. Be fair, the other day I was shipping a CD to the US. Like, we had an order from the United States. So, you know, must have been someone pretty determined to pay like 20 quid of, you know, posts to just like get it shipped to the US. Because you know we usually sell our merch in the UK. You know, it's usually how it goes. But no, it's a good sign that people from different countries, especially when they're this far, are, you know, this passionate about the band that they actually want to buy a CD.
Yeah.
I literally have someone who hit my car while I'm talking to you. It's a good thing it's an old car, and it's so old. I'm not even gonna. Are you gonna do it again? See, that's a good thing about having an old car is you're not scared of getting it, you know, slightly damaged.
Yeah. No, 'cause that was
Anyway,
I would have got I'd be like, hey, you just hit my car. The hell?
so yeah. To be fair, I'm in the UK driving a Belgian car, so that would be very complicated in terms of like insurance and all. I'm not getting into that. It's just, the car's too old. I will not sell it anyway, so it's fine. Doesn't matter.
I was actually having this discussion with somebody. I think it was one of my team leads at work, how there's people who would rather go out and buy a new car instead of trying to fix what they have. Because around this time, it's like tax season, and there's a lot of
Yeah,
people who they'll use their like tax return and go buy a new car or something like that, and instead of like trying to fix what they already have.
yeah. For me, it's more a matter of can I afford to fix what I already have.
Mm.
It's more the that's more the matter at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, no. I guess, trying to see the glass half full. And when someone hits your car, you're like, okay, well, at least I have an old car, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's when that's when later on and when you get more successful, you're like, huh. Remember when I used to just have this old car and I just did not care? Do you got like this newer, nicer car?
Yeah. To be fair, I kind of feel like that, because I've spent so many years being careful. I mean, I'm not even going to complain. It's not like I don't have a roof above my head,
Mm,
but I still, I have to be careful with money and all. I think that even if tomorrow I became like rich, I would not become someone who just like spends money for the sake of spending it. Uh, because when you've been careful for years and years, it's almost a reflex. And to be fair, might not be the worst reflex you have. You don't want to get lost in in money. So,
yeah, I definitely get what you mean. Yeah, if I had money, I would fix up stuff that I have. I would have some nice stuff, but it wouldn't just be like just to be like flashy. Like I would get a nicer apartment, fix up my vehicle
yeah,
like that. And that's really about it. I wouldn't be out there spending like bunch of money on like the nicest, like more expensive clothes. I'm not like that. I would probably have like somewhat of a better like wardrobe, like better clothes, but it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm wearing Louis Vuitton and Saint Laurent and I'm like, no, that's not me.
that's really funny because I have like a pair of trousers that's like a pair of jeans, ripped denim kind of stuff. And I've worn them on stage, and I always get compliments about it. Like, even people in the street stop me to say, "Oh, I really love your jeans," and everybody thinks they're like fancy and all. I literally bought them for 20 quid. 20 quid. Yeah, that was the budget. So you don't need to spend crazy amounts of money to just like have good stuff to wear. Honestly,
But
um,
see, I think the thing is like, especially here, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, but
no, it's fine.
there's a thing in America where like things are like pre-ripped or pre-whatever. And it's like,
Yeah,
just buy jeans, like buy some like really good jeans. Like I'm a proponent of just like buying some jeans that you can wear for a long, long time. They're gonna get ripped, they're gonna fade, they're gonna do all this stuff.
yeah.
And that's the style that a lot of people want, but they buy it already like pre-done. I'm just like, I have all this because of just work.
Yeah, no. What do you do for work?
Retail. Uh, I
I
work, I work overnight, like stocking shelves, and then
Yeah, no. Then your jeans are gonna get ripped in the sheets.
yeah, then
That's
like before that, like most of my like work life was working in warehouses. So yeah,
yeah. But to be fair though, with money, like for example, when you're recording music, uh, you know, I would be foolish to say that having money doesn't help because I can see that this time we've really put in like a lot of days of recording into the process. Let's be real. Days of recording means money.
yeah,
It costs a lot of money. But because we had that much time, we could really spend time on every detail. And we could also afford sometimes to say, okay, what we've done there is good, but it's not good enough. We'll do it again, you know? And when it comes to mixing, it's, you do it, then you let it rest, you get back to it, and you hear stuff that you hadn't heard the last time. But these things, they take time. So, they cost money. But I'm not saying like you can record something amazing with low budgets,
mhm,
but when you have more time, then yeah, you have more time to go into details for little things here and there. Um, because I do believe that a lot of artists underestimate, even in the big albums, like the legendary albums, they underestimate how much time, money, and efforts were put into the recording process, the mixing process, and all. Um, because we do tell people myths, they like to pretend that, some bands had zero money and all. But when you look into the facts, there is a contradiction
Yeah,
between the facts and the story that's being told. So yeah, definitely when you have more time in the recording studio, it helps. It really helps. And yeah, that is also something that we accepted, that, that recording process was gonna come with a cost. But look, we did it and that got us to be signed. So sometimes it's better to spend 25% more and get 400% more out of it. You know?
for sure.
So yeah,
I know I keep saying it, and I'm just I'm just really happy for you guys, man. Like
cheers,
seeing
man.
where you are. Like the music is already dope, but I can't wait to hear the new stuff. I get to play it when it gets released, and can't wait to hear more of it. Just can't wait to see you guys doing more and just being put out there more.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that we don't want to get out there more. That's something um, we really want to be playing, well, better shows and more often. Um, but yeah, no, this hopefully the new stuff. I mean, as I said, we have plans. It's just they haven't been shared yet. They haven't been announced yet. Um, but yeah, no, we're gonna be very busy this year, so that's good.
Well, I can't wait to see what you got in store. I know I keep saying it, but happy for you. Like I said, I know with you too, being how like just down to earth you are, like everything that you guys want to do, I know it'll be capable. I'm pretty sure you two have a plan for everything you want to do, and shit, I'm ready for it. I'm pretty sure that your fans are ready for it.
Hopefully, yeah.
And let's see what festivals and stuff you're gonna get on. I know last time we talked about we talked about the Download Festival.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be playing Download this year. To me, it's like every band dreams of playing big festivals, and so do we. But there are two ways to get into big festivals. The first one, that's probably not going to work for us. It's, the organizer, you're good friends with them. Again, that brings us back to having the right contacts, having the right background when you start. But the second way is by becoming big enough for the festival to want you there.
Mhm.
You that is kind of, I usually don't talk about other bands, but there is a band in the UK, South Arcade. Maybe you've heard of them. They've become very big, over the years, and now they're playing the big festivals. I think they're playing Download. They're playing some other festivals, I think, because at a certain point it becomes undeniable that, well, the festival should have you there. Because at the end of the day, the festivals, they need to bring good bands to, well, to make the crowd happy.
Mhm.
Uh, they can afford to have a few bands that get into the festival via contact. Not saying that every festival does it, obviously, but you know, got to be realistic about how the industry works. But when you're running a festival like, I don't know, Download, Isle of Wight, Glastonbury, those huge festivals, well, you cannot afford to put on bad bands, because if you do, then the whole reputation of your festival is, damaged by the bands. So yeah, to me, I'm aware that we will have to go with the second way that I was describing, which is get bigger, 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 make sure that everybody, at least in the UK and then in other countries, hears your music
Mhm.
to a point where the festivals are like, yeah, we need to have that band on this year. It is in our interest to have them on because, as it stands, because we're not that big yet, let's be real, it is more in our interest. Like we get more out of the festival slot that the festival gets out of us. I'm not talking about music quality. That's for everyone to decide whether we're the best band or the worst band. That's for everyone to decide. But yeah, you just have to put yourself in the organizer's shoes, basically. And yeah, that's what I want when I don't know. Last year we played Isle of Wight, and that was an amazing opportunity. Well, who was headlining? It was Sting. You know, everybody knows Sting. So that's a great stuff. And on the Sunday it was Justin Timberlake. People are gonna come for this kind of artists because they're huge. They're known by to everyone. So yeah, that's where you have to be. And that's what we're working for.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing you guys got to be a part of Isle of Wight, but I mean, and I think this is the reason why we kind of I can't even think of the word I'm trying to say. Why we cling is because like why we are so cool because you are very like I say you say you're realistic. You're just so down to earth and so humble. You I know you have the talent, but you're just like, I know we got to put our nose to the grindstone to get where we need to go to. You're not trying to take the shortcuts. You're not trying to do all this stuff. And I think that's why you're
Yeah.
going to be very successful in the future because you know what the road is ahead and you're willing to take the time to get where you need to.
Well, thank you for that. And to be fair, one, how would I say this? So for a few years, I've been putting on shows for other bands, as a side activity. Um, and that has taught me a lot because I saw the industry in a different way, from a different position, not from the band's artist position, but from the promoter. So from basically the industry worker, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And a lot of times when I've had to deal with bands, I felt a lot of frustration in artists' hearts, but not something that was justified. That was justified. So to give you an example, um, the example that I always give is, let's say that on Thursday, Foo Fighters is playing at Wembley Stadium, and on Friday, Taylor Swift is playing, for example. If, let's say, you're a Foo Fighters fan, you're going to Wembley because Foo Fighters is playing. And you will not be there unless you also like Taylor Swift, but you will probably not be there the next day
Mm.
because people don't go to a show for a venue or a stadium or a promoter. People go to a show for a band. And very often, like we've organized shows, like we've just like put the show on, and there was barely anyone in the venue, and they came, like the artists, they came to yell at us, and I was like, hold on, take a step back and think about it. If you don't have people who like your music, who's gonna come?
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to go in the streets and force people to get into the venue and pay 10 quid to watch you? It's just that is not how it works. And that's where I have understood, because I used to be, I'm going to be honest, I used to think like that as well. As like, okay, I'm playing music, so the promoter has to do the sales for me. They have to bring the people in. But that is just not how it works. It might work in smaller places. If you play in the middle of nowhere and people have nothing else to do that night, okay, maybe people will attend a show of a completely unknown band. But when you're in the big cities, when you're in London or LA in the US, it's just not how it's going to work because there's so many other bands that people would rather watch than yourself.
Yeah.
So that is how I have um, gotten that mindset. It's by being in, well, the promoter's shoes, you know, not just the artist, not just the band, but actually, yeah, the promoter, the guy who runs the events that, you know, deals with the venues and the bands and all.
Yeah, so like you say, you know the inside ins and outs of everything. So yeah, you know exactly what you're doing. And with that, like I said, I know you two are gonna be successful in the long run because you know what it takes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as I always say, hopefully, you know, I'm not gonna. Yeah, no. I guess we'll just keep doing what we're doing. Um, yeah, I guess as he said, you know, staying humble is very important, especially in the music industry, because it's very easy to just, yeah, to just lose it, I guess.
Yeah. It is very easy to just uh, as we say here in the US, like smell yourself, like smell your own shit, which is basically saying like um seeing where you are and just like thinking you're the best type of thing. Like thinking you're like the big man on campus, like you deserve it when you haven't
Yeah.
got to that point yet.
I mean, that's the thing. You don't deserve a career in music. It's something you have to fight for. And I think that this is something that a lot of artists have not understood yet is there's nobody waiting for you to give you a career.
No.
It's just you have to create it. You have to, no, you have to get it if you want it.
And I definitely do like the way that you guys have been growing yourselves. You're not just out there trying to be the most popular band. You're not out there doing all these like crazy TikToks or reels and something like that. It's actual talent, which is what I like personally. I like talent over just popularity.
Yeah, I mean, the TikTok topic is pretty interesting because we have recently created a TikTok, but we're not using it as a proper TikTok channel, if that makes sense. Like we just post our stuff, but in our own way. Because the whole TikTok thing is so cringy, and
Mhm.
we don't want to do that. So we basically like I mean, Instagram we've always been doing pretty well there, but we didn't even have a TikTok, and now we've started to use a TikTok again, a YouTube channel again, but we're not we're not gonna be doing the you know, all the trends, the we're feeding our bases, the singer can't sing, the guitarist can't, yeah,
Mhm.
we're not doing this because yeah, no, we just because it's cringy, basically. That's why we're
It,
not
it
doing it.
it really is. And for anybody listening to this later on, like no shade for anybody who does that, do your thing. But just for me personally, and I'm sure for you, know, is like you said, it's cringy and it's not something that you want to do, it's something that I don't want to see.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure with your fan base and stuff like that, it would just be like, what the hell is this?
I know. And to be fair, everybody is doing it anyway. So you don't want to do what everybody else does.
Yeah.
There's already enough people covering these grounds. So, you know, we might as well do something different.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Well, I know you gotta get going here in a little bit, but if you want to let people know where they can find you, if you got anything outside of the music, if you got something that you can tell me that you got going on coming up.
Well, I'd say the best thing to mention is our single being released on Friday.
Mhm.
That's probably, well, the because there's someone screaming behind. Just close the window. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a weird thing to be doing this talk in a car, but always the only option. No, I mean, got our single coming up on Friday, so that's probably, if you like Never Under, that's the one thing to be looking forward to right now. Um, they can find us on basically everything that exists, like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, whatever, all these things. So yeah, we're there. We're available.
Hell yeah. Well, outside of you guys doing a release this month for the show, it is actually March Mayhem, which I don't know if you ever heard of March Madness. It's something that we have here in the US, where it's basically like a college basketball tournament, where it's I believe it's like 32 teams. What I'm doing is basically
Okay.
16 bands, like who I've talked to with like Never Under is on there, and
Okay.
everybody gets to vote to see who is going to be number one once it's over at the end of the
Okay.
month. I'm looking at trying to do something with it. I think this year might just be like bragging rights is just uh everybody's favorite band. Next year, I may try to do like a trophy or something to send whoever wins. I think
Okay.
if I can
So
do.
you're gonna make sure that we don't win, otherwise you have to send it to the UK,
Oh,
which
this is gonna be this is fan voted. Like I'm gonna put it out there.
ah
I'm send it to everybody who's in it, and it's like your fans and whoever got a vote. I'll play the songs on each night, and then like the vote will close at like a certain day. But yeah,
so is that inspired by basketball, you said?
yeah.
So I'm gonna say something that is probably gonna make people not want to vote for us. I hate basketball. I generally hate basketball, and I know American people love it. So
Honestly,
yeah.
I think it's more football here than it is basketball. Like
But
there
when you say football, you mean your football, right?
yes,
Not the not
not
European one.
yeah. There are
Yeah.
some people who like, I know we call it soccer here, but football. Um, I know I
I think
put
it's getting bigger in the US since Lionel Messi joined
yeah,
the MLS.
yeah.
It's probably getting bigger.
But yeah, like it is an inspiration of college basketball because
Okay.
they've been doing it for like years, like decades at this point. Um, and it actually starts in a couple days. I think it's like before I even started. Well, no, after I start mine, but I'm gonna have probably like the next day or so the actual bracket and like put it out, like make a video, send it to everybody like who wants to be a part of it and see what happens. Like I said, if I actually do get some people to vote into it, I'll keep it going. And then if we can come up with an actual winner, I like out of my own pocket, I'll probably get a trophy or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
if it goes as well as I hope it does, I think next year I want to try to ramp it up a bit to where try to get a band to come and play here in town or something like that.
Cool, man. That sounds cool.
Yeah. Want to do something to help people. Like you guys took time out of you guys took time out of your schedule to talk to me and do these interviews and stuff. It's at least the least thing I can do is,
Yeah.
and it's friendly competition and also it's kind of like a somewhat of a networking thing because you're like, oh, it's this band. Let me see how they sound, and then try to talk to if you guys want to talk to each other, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, it's clever. I mean, wish there would be more people in the music industry who, would do that kind of stuff. I mean, I think there are people, but yeah, we need more people like you.
I appreciate that. Yogi, I wish I was on a bigger scale of things to make more stuff happen, but like just like you two, hopefully within the next few years, bigger and better things.
Cool, man. I mean, I hope for you. I hope that's your radio, like your podcast, can become something that people will really know of. Like, that'd be very cool.
Hell yeah. All right, man. I know you got to get out of here in a little bit.
Yeah,
Appreciate talking to you, and definitely we talk to each other here and there on Instagram. Always hit me up. Always great time hearing from you, even though we're on these weird time zones.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, for you, what is it for you? Like 10 a.m. or something?
It is almost 11 o'clock.
11. Yeah, for us, it's gonna be 5 p.m. So
Yeah,
yeah, small difference, but yeah, no, it's always good talking to you, man. Thank you for having. I was gonna say us, but today is just me. But
yeah.
thank you for having Never Under again. And
I'm gonna make sure to get you guys on again.
amazing. Thank you, man. Thank you. We appreciate, our label appreciates. So thank you very much.
And no problem. And for everybody watching and listening, you can always find me on Instagram at djackson.tmd. That is DJAXXYN.tmd. Follow on for the March Mayhem. Maybe Never Under might win this thing. They might sweep the entire thing. We don't know. It all depends on how you vote. But with that, we out.